Hi Internet viewers, Frank Rauscher again. Just trying to get back to see if we could ever get this Great Horned Owl finished. We did get a lot into the face. We had highlighted around the face area. We brought the white down into the breast area, and we have pretty much got all the washes that we need in the primaries, secondaries, mantle, and so on. Now we're going to have to get the tail. So we're going to do the tail on both sides, and we'll probably have to do some highlighting in the primaries and secondaries. The washes that we put on were just too light, so we're going to enhance that a little bit more to get the highlights popped up a little bit, and we will do that in this video here. The other thing I also wanted to get to is, like I always do, is ask about subscribing to my channel. I could really appreciate that. If anybody knows anybody else that may be interested in what I'm doing, if you could pass my information on, that would be great. And if you can give me a thumbs up too, that's all helps in my count in YouTube. The other thing I also want to state is most of the equipment I use and the brushes or paints or paint trays or bits I do have available. The equipment I do supply Foredoms. I do have ram grinders. I just want to let everybody know that. And if you're ever in need of those, you could contact me, and I'll give you my email address again here. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. So anytime you may need something, just give me a holler and I'll definitely get back to you. I could send you a catalog out as well. I got like a 6-sheet catalog. It doesn't have everything, but if you contact me, we can talk. I try to give you some decent prices on the items I'm selling, and if you're interested and I can help you out, I'm going to try to guide you in the right things to buy and not everything. Okay, so I will do that as well. So if you are ever in need of anything, definitely consider me. I don't have the website anymore, but I do have the, like I call it like a mini catalog, you know, and it's all the kits that I have. And I even have some more. It seems to be like a growing list of, after carving for almost 50 years, I have done a lot of carving, so I have patterns in the feet, the eyes for most of the items I'm doing, or I could show you how to make them as well. And if you have any questions, I'm always open to any of the questions that you may need to get answered within the carving world here. Most of the time I'm going to try to show you my techniques on how I do it. I'm not the end all here. There are people that are really talented, and my attitude is I'm just getting you off the ground, and hopefully it'll be a good jump start from just doing it on your own, you know, and try to give you a real good. I'm teaching here like I've taught for years. I used to run like maybe 4 classes a week, and ever since the virus, I just slowed down. Well, stopped basically, because I had to rethink it, and I'm not getting any younger. But with YouTube, I can produce, and I'm trying to give you all that I would normally do in my classroom. So, and if you have any questions, I always say, hey, contact me. If you want to send pictures for me to critique some pieces and stuff like that, definitely get a hold of me. And if you get my catalog, I have a way where you can get me on the phone or something like that, or we do FaceTime or things like that. Just trying to open the door for you so that if you hit a wall and you can't, you're stuck on something, I'll try to answer it. I don't say I have all the answers, but the other thing I was trying to allude to, I'm sort of going off on tangents here. I'm showing you my techniques, okay? But there are other people doing really neat stuff, and you would want to be wide open to listen and learn from anybody that may be teaching, and you like their work and the way they produce it. Get with them as well, because it's a learning process, and you will get information from them as well as me, and then you can formulate your own techniques. And that's what I've done over the years. I was very fortunate to start with a world-class carver named Ernie Mulemat, and he has since passed away, but I had the fortune to have studied with him for a while. So everybody needs that jump start, and he was mine. And if there's somebody around you or near you that you really like their work, learn from them too. Everything combines together to really come up with a nice piece. And if I ever get to figuring out how to do it on YouTube, I have some still shots of some of the pieces that people have done through my videos here. And I won't name their names right now, but I will publish them within the video. I want to give it to you and show you what some people have done through the video that I have pictures of, and I will show it. I've been saying this, but I'm still trying to learn the technique of how to edit and get things out there to show you the proper way and what people have accomplished. And one of the gentlemen really did well in this past year, or this year I should say, at the Ward Foundation show. He took I think it was a second best in show and first in category, things like that. So I want to show you that, if you're getting good at it, you can really do a competitive piece. And this guy has a lot of talent too. And there's probably a lot of people out there that do. It's just once you get exposed to how it gets done, this would really, I think I'm trying to help you out to get there, to be competitive. So it takes more time consuming to do a piece that's for competition. You want to get everything just so, and not just haphazardly do it. And in some cases, some of you just want to enjoy yourself just carving and creating and following somebody, and then there's other ones that want to get competitive. So I'm going to try to open the door for you so that if whatever way you want to go, enjoy the carving world, because I have over a number of years, and want to let you guys know that I'm here to help you whenever I can. So from that, we are going to do some painting. So I'll bring the camera down and we'll get you going. Okay, we're at it again. Now what we want to do is the tail. And I'll tell you what I've done. I've done a little bit of mixing ahead of time. I got burnt sienna, and this was a mix where I'll stir it up pretty good because it's been sitting a little bit, and the staining quality isn't that strong, okay? And that's what I'm trying to reflect to you on this piece of paper. Now I'm going to come over here on this mix. I took some from here and added a little more water. This was only about a BB size of paint, okay? Burnt sienna comes on strong. So I watered this down even more so that you can see it's very faint. And I'm trying to get that onto the bird here. Okay, so what I want to try to do is I'm going to pick up a mix like this. I'm going to come in and I'm going to coat the tail because we're going to try to finalize the tail here. So I'm using pea size to about maybe a third of a cup. Mix that real well, and then I added more water and brought some of the paint over and mixed it up. And I want to stir it good. Take the excess off because you don't want this to be runny. And then I'm going to paint this portion of the tail, okay? And I don't want it coming on real strong, but I want to try to get a little bit of a reddish highlight in there. Okay. And remember, you want to do the edges too. Don't forget that. I'm trying to get right to the edge on all of this. And I gave it a nice coat. Okay. So I'm going to do this to the flip side as well. Okay. And I dab that off because I don't want this to come on real strong. I'm going to hit it again just so I can get some coloring in here. And I'm just trying to get a hint of the red into this, just a little bit, okay? And we are going to now rinse my brush out. And what I'm going to do is hope and pray that my hairdryer works, which is a test. Bear with me here a second. As I stated to you before, and maybe I didn't, I'm going to go back in here. You want to get it back all the way back in and under the primary feathers here that stick out, as undercoated as well. Okay, so I'm just going back and doing that again. Now, let me let that sit for a minute. Most of it's dried, but except for that back portion. Now, what I want to also let you know is I mixed burnt umber, and it's a BB size, real small, and about a third of a cup, okay? And I'm going to pick some of that up, move that over here. So I've mixed that real well. Then I took some over here, and then I added more water in here. And I'm going to go about with about half a tray of the water. Let me just see how dense this is. I'm going to come over here. That's kind of light, so I'm going to add a little more paint. Let's see if I can't darken that just a hair. Okay, it's more like that is what I'm looking for. So now that I have the one coat, it gives it like a little bit of a reddish coat in there. I'm going to come in now with the watered down burnt umber. And I'm going to come in here. And notice I'm not scrubbing this in. When I put washes in, I want to put it in, and I want it to go in one direction, so I got one full coat on there. And I'm not, because when you go back and forth with brushes like this, you're actually picking up the paint that you just put down. So you're not trying to scrub it in. When you initially do a coat, you can get it in all the nooks and crannies and go back and forth. But when you're getting to the final washes, you're always trying to go in one direction, okay? So I'm gonna come over here and do this side as well. A little bit more. And I'm not trying to get it runny, okay? And I do want to get it on the edges and also this side as well. Right on up into here. Okay. Now, what I've also done is I've gotten some white. Let me see. The white is on a heavier side. I put in white for a couple reasons here. I'm going to use white. This is like almost a creamy mix, which is what we had done in the breast area in here. It will dry and sort of not be as bright. And sometimes you have to come back over things because of too much water in there. And I'm not going to come back in and brighten this up anymore. I think I'm good where I'm at right now. But for this side here, I almost need like a gray color. And what I'm going to do is I'm taking just a little bit on my brush over into this cup. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to add some water, because what I want to do on the underneath side of the feathers, I'm going to rinse my brush out so I don't contaminate this other watered down burnt umber. And I'm going to put some in here. And I'm going to get almost like a beige color or something like that. And then you can hardly see it as a stain. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in over this. Most feathers on the underneath side of birds are lighter, and they're not always, but in this case it is. And it's it sort of goes to a gray. I'm trying to not go too gray, and let me see how this goes on here. See, it's going to tone down what we've had in there before, which was the heavy burnt umber, and that's what I want. I want to come in, and it's sort of graying it out, but it's actually whiting it out. And I've had a little bit of the burnt umber wash in here with it, so it should give me exactly what I'm looking for. And I hope you can see this really well. It doesn't white it, but and I want to get down to the edges here as well. And that is going to be what I'm looking for. That is like it subdues the heavy burnt umber we had. It subdues the wash we put on there of burnt sienna, and then all I'm doing is just giving it the one coat of the mix of white and the raw umber. Okay. So I rinse my brush out. I'm going to try to dry this again. Okay, that should do it. Now, a couple of things happened from the last time when we were coming in here, and I was trying to highlight the feathers with white on the edges. And I don't know if you remember that or not. So these feathers have some highlights on the very edge, and they really just faded away. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not trying to give you more work, but I'm going to come in with this is like the creamy mix again. I wet my brush, I take the excess off, and I spin it so that this goes into a point, okay? And what this also tells me is I better put my optivisors on, because what I want to do is be able to see what I'm doing. So I will put that on. That'll give me more magnification, so I know I'm on the edge of these feathers. Now I'm going to do maybe just in the center area here. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to start with the upper one here. I'm going to come, I hope I'm in my camera range here. I'm going to come around. And I'm doing this edge. Okay. And I'm going to do the next one. This is all on the one side. It's sort of fading, so let me charge my brush up again. So I have some good white. Okay. And I'm going to do the next one. And you need a pointy brush. I'm in my number 3 brush that's got a real good point. So I'm going to ask you to go to that one. The other one I was using before is the number 6. Could be a 4 or 6. And I'm going to do another one here, just to enhance a couple, to put some highlights on the ends here, like so. And you can see there is a little white that was left over from the last time we did this, but it's so faded out that I'm just going to go, I'll do one more here and stop on that. Okay, so we got that, and that's trying to brighten that edge up. Okay, let me get my brush, not clean, but adding a little bit more water. I'm trying to get this a little more creamier. And I got my brush charged up and almost pointed. Now I'm going to go to the secondaries, which is the next level down. And I'm coming around, and you got to touch this ever so lightly. So you just hit that area, and you're almost like dragging it. You're just trying to put an edge to the feather. And I'm going to bring this up a little bit higher on this end. Now I'm going to do it to the next one too. Okay, we're going to come down here. I'm coming around. We're going to highlight that. Now, I look like I got off a little bit on that edge. So I'm gonna rinse my brush out. And I'll show you how to pick that up. Get all the paint out of your brush. Now this is a moist brush. I'm gonna come in on that feather below that has the white that I don't want there. And I'm picking that up just that way. See, it came right out. So that will take care of that. Now go back, charge my brush up again, get some of the creamy white, and then what I'm going to do is hit this edge. Here I go again. Let's see if I have the tissue around. I'm going to try to do it this way this time. Pick that right up. I'll get a little bit of water on here. So this is another way of doing it besides the brush. I'm going to just try to remove that area I just hit. For some odd reason, I don't have a steady hand at the moment. And for some of you, that may be the case. I'm going to try this again. So here we go. I'm going to hit here, right there, come down here. I see this one is fading more, so I'm going to come back and try to enhance the one I just did before, and I'm going to do it again on the next one, going up, but not the top one, because that looks pretty good. I'm going to drag this up a little higher. I hope you're seeing all this. Then I'm going to do this one, and I'll charge my brush up because it doesn't hold a lot of paint, this brush, but I'm just trying to get just enough to put the highlights in there. And then I'll do a couple more. Come down here. And I'm really trying to just highlight the edges. And no more. Okay. Now, back, charge up my brush. If you notice, I always try to take the excess off, and I twist the brush a little bit so it gets into a point, so that when I first start going on it, I'm getting a real point on it and not a blob. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just, there I go again. Not that steady tonight. I'm going to pick this up down here. And we will, whoop, let me just come in here and I'll pick up the white that got on the lower end, and I'll leave that alone a minute because that's kind of wet and moist. And then I'll do one feather in front of that one for one more time, like right in here. I'll come in here, come down, and these are like white highlights that are on the feather. Let's see if I can come back to this one and get it in there now. Seems like it's allowing me to do that. Okay, so we did that on that side. And then I'm going to go to the next grouping, which is your primaries. And that's the very last ones. And that is here. Okay. Then I'm going to do the next one. I'll do the next one. More. Then the last one. Ran out of paint. Knew I was going to do that. So I'm coming in here. Did I exaggerate here? I think I did. I'm sorry. I have magnifiers on, and I still screwed up here. This let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 1, 2, that's 3, 4. I did it right. I just didn't trust myself. I'm going to come back in here. Highlight that. And then this one turns right in there. And I'm going to drag this down a little bit further. And this one right there. Okay. And you can see they're a little bit brighter, and that's all I'm trying to get is that. Then I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. You have your center one here on this side. Okay. Then the next one. Next one. Let me charge it up. You can only go, maybe you can get a couple sometime. Most of the time it runs out of paint real fast. And then I'm going to get this one. Yep, that's got it. Then I'll charge my brush up about two at a time. Hit that. Then I'll hit that one. Yep, that's not going to do it. Then I'll hit this one. And you really got to have a steady hand. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the next group like I did before. Roll your brush, take the excess off. And then I'm going to come in and do this one. Make sure I got the right feathers, yeah. There it is right here. Hope everybody's seeing this well. I hate to go out of camera range because sometimes then I have to make the video all over again because it's not showing me in range, and I apologize for that, but that happens sometimes. Okay, charge my brush out, and I'm going to come down. So I'm trying to find a easy path for doing this. Let's see. I got this right over here. This comes around and up. Okay. Then I'll do the next one, which is this one. And I'm just trying to highlight these edges, like so. Charge up the brush, take the excess off. This is like the same routine. And then I'm going to come in and hit the edge of the next one down. Come around. And like I said, if you mess up, just get a white cloth and pick up the paint if you can. You know, if you don't want to linger because the paint's still movable, and you can recoup and then dry it, because if you do it with a wet cloth, the wetness won't allow the paint to go on right when you go to do the rest of them. Okay, now we got that grouping done as far as I want. Now I'm going to go back, charge up the brush again. Then we're going to do the last grouping here, which is right here. Again, hitting this edge. Now it comes on real bright, and it looks that way maybe on camera here too. And then afterwards, it actually doesn't stay as bright. We'll do that. Now here we go again. I rinse my brush out, take all the paint out, still have a moist brush. I'm into the feather below it here, and I want to try to get that out of there. And I don't know if you can see that well. I just picked up and I get the moisture out, and all the paint just lifts. So I'm going to come in here, sort of got it on the feather below it. Dab my brush out, and it will suck that paint right up again. So that's another way of doing it, besides using a wet cloth or paper towel or something like that. Now, this next one down may be wet, so I'm going to do the next one down, give that a chance to dry. I'm not going to use the dryer on it just yet. I think it'll air dry, then allow me to come back and do that one in a minute. So there's the next one. And then charge my brush up again, take the excess off, and we do the next one. I have to look up every once in a while because I start shuffling around, and I want to make sure I'm in camera range. And then there's the last one that's just sticking out there. So let me come back to that one. Hopefully it's air dried enough that I can come in and still maintain the white. Yep. So allowing me to come on strong and get that right on down. This one sort of faded a little bit, so I'll hit that one again. And this one sort of faded a little bit, so I'll enhance that again. So that's what I'm trying to achieve in that area. Now, if some of this looks like it faded a little bit and it doesn't match the other side, what I'll do is I'll come back in. Let me get my finger on here. I'm trying to balance myself. This seems a lot lighter, so I will hit that with white again. I'll just come in so I can get a consistency on both sides, that I got the right white edge that I'm looking for. Like so. Like so. Yeah, just a hint of bright white. Okay, like so. Okay, if you can achieve that, that would be great. Now, here's where we're gonna do some stuff that gets real kind of tricky in a way. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need another paint tray, because I need to mix a heavy mix of the burnt umber. So bear with me 1 second here. Now, for some of you may not want to do this step, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Like I said, this bird is very busy, especially painting wise. So I will try to show you the details that I put on, which could drive you to drink at times. And I'm not trying to do that, but I have maybe about a half a pea of the burnt umber, and I'm going to put maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 drops of water in there, and I'm going to stir this up, and hopefully I get a nice creamy color out of this. And I want to stir this, and I'm using the number 3 brush still, okay? And really want to mix this up well and take the excess off. Just like with the white, I'm trying to do this with the burnt umber. And just to give you an idea of consistency, it's heavy. It is heavy. And what I'm going to try to do now is to come in, and I'm going to add in between here. We're going to do it. See the white in the tail feather here? There are lines. And for some of you, you may want to do this first, okay? I'm going to show you with a pencil. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add, see this little arc right in here of the burnt umber we put in earlier? I'm going to come in and put the same arc like this one here down here, maybe not quite 1/8 of an inch down, but I'm going to go like this and come across. Then I'm going to do about the same distance. I'm going to do it again. And I'm putting a pencil line across there that I can see. It just about gets on there. And I'm going to do it for this one. I'm going to do it for this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then we're going to do it again up here. We're going to come in here a lot shorter to maybe about 2 millimeters down. And then I'm going to put a single line across, another single line coming across. And then I'm going to match that as it drops down just through here. Okay, and the same way on this side. And then we have a line coming across in here on this one, and one across here. And then that comes down this way, and this way, and this way. Now this gets real hairy in that respect. It's really a real fine line. So I'm charging my brush up, take all the excess, get it into a point, and I'm going to come around and I'm going to follow that line. And all I want is a line. And I hope you can see this well. I'm going to just float that right across like that. It arches up and it comes down. It's not heavy. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to do it again. And I'm swinging around like so. I'll hit that twice. See it? Then I charge my brush up again. And then these same lines continue on down. And they about the same distance away. I'm just going to go like this. Don't want to go heavy. Go like this. Gotta watch where I'm going with this paint. Getting it on my fingers. And I'm going to come in. Let me charge that up again. I need a point. I definitely need a point. So here we go. I'm going to come in. That's too fat. So I'm going to come in, clean that up. I'm going to come in with a moist brush, tap it, and then what I'm going to do is get that right out of there. See it? Now, I'm going to come back again, get a point, and I'm going to swing a line there, swing a line there, get a line there, and I'm just gliding that brush just by here. paint because it doesn't carry a lot. Now, I'm getting some of the paint on my fingers because this is at the very edge and I'm trying to steady myself. So if you notice, I got my finger on the bottom here and I'm trying to just sweep it across. There you go. Now see, I got a little bit of paint on my finger. I'll just clean that off. Now I'm going to do the other side. So we're coming down this way. So I'm going to strike a line there, 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 there. Okay, now the center one isn't as dark as the rest of them. So I will come back. Maybe I had a light or I didn't stir it up right. So I'm going to enhance that. And then I'm going to enhance the next one. And there they are, okay? That's the line work you want to go in. So I'm going to charge my brush up again, take all the excess paint out, twist your brush to get into a point. Then we're going to do it again. In the next area of this white area. So I'm going to lay this here, come across, like so, and come down. Do about that spacing. I'm going to do this one. Let me see if I can go, yeah, let me come in. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go outward. I think it'll drag better off the brush. There. There. Hope you're seeing this. And then I'm going to do it here. Here. And then here. 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 And here. There, there. Getting a little blotchy there, but it'll fly. Then there's one there, one there. Seems like it goes down easier when you're going from the inside out. There's like 2 rows. Now the difficult one is a little more challenging, which is under this feather. So I'll strike the first one in there. I don't know if you're going to see that, but that's one. There's another one. And then I'm going to be as equitable as I can as far as trying this. It gets really tight. There. 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 And there. If it's not perfect, it'll get close. That is a difficult position to get into here. So I'm going to try to come in. See if I got the right area. Yeah. Let me stay in focus here. Get a line, and line. Line, line. Line. And line. There. And then there. Okay, and there we go. Now we have the tail done. Okay, you have. I hope you can see it. It's a spacing thing. I'm saying like 1.5 millimeters between them, and whatever you have in there, you're trying to get these double lines in there, whatever the size may be that you may have left, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. So if you can get that done, and again, it's a creamy mix of burnt umber, and it's just that. And you want to use that pointed feather, brush, which is a number 3, which goes into a point really nice. And I would recommend having a good brush in doing that, or you'll be talking to yourself, which I do sometime myself. So that is what we're trying to achieve in that area there. We highlighted this little grouping right in here, and then we've marked these out with the lines in between on what I consider the white or the light side, or the white end of it. And that should take care of it. And we have the ghosting on the other side. And I think we're in good shape. So if you could get that done, that'd be great. And we'll proceed on. And I'll make sure that anything else that needs to be done, we'll try to capture that. But I think we're getting close to almost starting to mount the bird. So if you can achieve that, that'd be great. And I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Sometimes this could be very, very tedious, this bird, as far as the painting chore. It is a painting chore, I'll give you that. When I first got into this, I wanted to, I thought that maybe this was too much to give you guys, but I want to show you some real detail that I get into. But most birds, you can put a couple washes on and you're there in no time flat. This bird has a lot of markings on it, and I knew it takes a number of videos to get all this out so that you can capture all this. So I hope I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up, and if you'd subscribe to my channel. And like I said, I'm going to give you my email address again. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 at gmail.com. And if you ever need anything, I can send you out catalogs. I have kits, patterns, eyes, feet, whatever you may need to get the project done. If you want the whole kit, it contains all those items. If you need a burner or micro grinders that I use, I'll have them available too. And just contact me. Let me know in the comments section of the video, or you can just write to me directly with my email, and I will get back to you and see if we can't help you out. I hope you enjoyed this section, and I hope you're still staying with me. And we are really getting real close now, so hang in there. And I think we got a real neat bird on our hands, and we're getting close. Now you got to understand, this bird in actuality, as far as real life, is about 20 inches long. So we've got maybe 1/4 of that 20 inches in this piece here. So I'm doing detail, but it's nothing like what the real bird is. It even has more detail. I'm just trying to minimize it and giving you some of the techniques that I would do for this size bird, okay? This scale, I should say. And so see you on the next video, and happy painting. See you then. Bye now.